Hello, and welcome to a special episode of Crossword Radio. This is your enigmatic host, The Brain, and today is Thursday, January 20th, 2022. Now, I don't normally do a crossword on Thursday, because the New Yorker only publishes on Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But I was kind of lamenting the lack of American cryptic crosswords the other day, because I only get to really do one a week, and I like them, and I'd like to get more practice at them. But a lot of the cryptics that you can find to do online are extremely British, and so British that I find them just impossible. They're full of British slang and British euphemisms, references to British politicians or to British towns, British places, things like that, that they're just, almost impossible for me to do, because I don't know much. I don't know that much about Britain. So anyway, I was kind of looking around, and believe it or not, in the freaking AARP website of all places seems to offer a daily cryptic. So I solved a few clues and then was like, wait, let me see if I can record this. Is this any good, or is this going to be like Babby's first cryptic? So I thought we should give it a shot. Now, this one I didn't know. Select a tool. It looks like a double definition to me. A tool that also can mean to select. Not sure. Now I see it. A pick. It's a pick. Pick. There we go. Okay. Good Lord. That is Agatha. The good Lord is Christ. That is Latin is I.e. Id est. Agatha Christie, of course, the world's most best-selling author. I only learned that recently. I forget the context, but she has sold more books than any other author in history, which is amazing. One on outskirts of Liverpool is ailing. Well, one is I in Roman numerals. Outskirts of Liverpool are the two outside letters of Liverpool, which are two L's, and it's ill, which is ailing. Weaving machinery appears ominously close. This is another double definition. That's looms, weaving machinery, or looms. And also, if something appears ominously close, it looms, like, your mother-in-law's visit, it looms on the horizon. Relaxed in odd parts of exam, say. So, this is kind of an interesting one, because say is normally not an operator. It's kind of a sort of an example or something. It's not usually sort of a cryptic operator, but in this case it's included. Or I'm sorry, it usually is an operator. It usually is a cryptic operator. In this case, it's part of the phrase. So the odd letters of exam say are EASY, easy, which is relaxed. And counter-revolutionary clobber. So I think these are all the ones that I answered, except for pick. I answered Christie, ill, looms, and easy before I decided to start recording. So we are now into uncharted territory here. Counter-revolutionary clobber. With those letters, C-O-U-N-T-E-R, it looks like it's going to be an anagram of counter, and that means clobber. Trounce. There we go. Okay. Moving slowly and carefully. That looks like the definition, because it looks like we're going to end in ing here. Taking ages in movement. So maybe carefully taking ages in movement. Slowly and carefully. Easing. We already have easy. Taking ages in movement. I'm not sure. Maybe this doesn't end in ing, but maybe it does. We have a big long grid spanner down the center here. A sort of echo hurts nest in tree. 5-8. Is the answer going to be a tree? Hurts nest. Echo could maybe be a homophone indicator. Hurts nest in tree. A sort of hurts nest. We have 13 letters here. Maybe, a sort of could maybe be an anagram indicator. 4 and 5 is 9, and 4 is 13. So that is 8 and 5. So it could be an anagram of echo hertz nest to mean a kind of tree. Hazel, no. What kind of tree starts with H? Holly bush, something, no. A tree that starts with H. Unsure. Need to get some more crossings, I think. How about down here? Talk about singular garnish. Parsley is often used as a garnish. Talk about could be a homophone indicator. Singular. Yeah, I'm not sure. Church taking measure of current title holder. Church. Is the answer church, or is it going to be title holder? Like the owner? Current title holder. Church. I know sometimes I think in British cryptics, church can be CE, which stands for the Church of England, I think, or something like that. Or it can just be C, taking measure. A measure could be like a teaspoon or something. That doesn't, make any sense, but something like that, some measurement to mean a current or measure of current is an amp. Maybe that's it. Measure of current title holder. I like amp for measure of current. Title holder is the champ. Okay, so church is just CH, and a measure of current is an amp, and you get a champ, which is a title holder. Okay. All right. That's one thing that always gets me is the abbreviations, is that there seem to be a lot of them, and it's just a pure kind of rote memorization thing. Not necessarily, where have you seen it? Like, one thing I like about the New Yorker cryptics is they tend to not do too many abbreviations unless they're very common abbreviations that you see out in the world. Large and small, L and S, or medium for M. Those are, you'd see that literally printed on a shirt. King for K or queen for Q. You see that if you're looking at a playing card, the king literally just says a K. Empty and full, E and F. You see that on your gas tank. So, it's something that you see out in the everyday world. But CH for church, I guess you might see that in a printed document or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, enough griping. Let's continue. Clergyman going around a power plant. Clergyman could be a monk, priest. Is the answer going to be a power plant, or maybe just a plant? Church clergyman going around a power, and this whole thing means a plant. Kind of sounds like it. What kind of clergyman? Priest, vicar. Talk about singular garnish. What's this? All right. If this is parsley for garnish, does this start? Can I think of anything that starts with R? Power plant. Plant. Rhododendron? No, not sure. Flower left at university and at home. Flower could also be flower sometimes, so it might be talking about a river. Left is often abbreviated to L. University is abbreviated to U, so we probably have an L and a U in here. A tulip is a flower that has an L and a U in it, but that doesn't work with champ, which I like. Flower left at university and at home. L-U. Lupin. If you're at home, you're in. Is there a river called the Lupin River? Lupin River. Or a flower? Lupin flower. Okay. Lupine, lupinus, commonly known as lupin. Okay, so it is a flower. They're not trying to trick us with a river. So left and university, LU. Now I'm wondering where we get the P here. Where do we get the P in lupin? Left at university, LU. If you're at home, you're in. So, and, somehow we're getting a P from the letter and, from the word and. I'm not sure. This is still looking good for parsley. I still don't understand the cryptic part of the clue. Garnish is parsley. Talk about singular. Yeah, I don't know. Birds scared by beaters. Birds scared by beaters. 13 letters again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Potentially be an anagram of birds scared by, maybe. Beaters. Like egg beaters or egg whiskers? What kind of beating are we talking about here? Especially starting with a Y. Birds. Or possibly beaters. Yolk. I don't know. As bear away from home. Be conspicuous. To stand out. Probably. That's be conspicuous, and it's 5-3. As bear away from home. Yeah, it could be wrong. I don't understand the cryptic part of it, but the definition, if it's be conspicuous, could be stand out, which is a 5-letter word and a 3-letter word. So, clergyman going around a power plant. Could be going around a clergyman. Going around a and then power. Like watt, maybe. A sort of echo hertz nest in tree. Echo hertz nest. Moving slowly and carefully, taking ages in movement. Sire involved with many a school for fathers to be. Sire is to birth, to give birth to, beget. Involved with many a school for fathers to be. Birds scared by. Well, if this is stand out, this is no longer an anagram of birds scared by because there's no O. Let's see if we can confirm. I mean, with this L, parsley, birds. Trainee left with breadwinner. Breadwinner is an earner, maybe. Trainee on the left. F again could just be L. Breadwinner. Social divisions as sect is formed. Social divisions, plural, is an anagram of sect is or as sect, maybe. TRA, yeah. Social divisions. Castes. Right, that is an anagram of as sect. Okay, so as sect, and then is formed is our anagram indicator. And you get social divisions. All right. Oh, wait. Learner is a trainee. So it's left with the breadwinner. Breadwinner is the earner, but that starts with left. So yellow birds scared by beaters. Or scared, you're yellow. And then beaters or something. Beaters. Yellow finches. Yellow. Shooting the birds that just start with the word yellow. Like yellow-breasted, I don't know. Something. Okay. Countries in turmoil and so on. So I'm going to be countries, maybe lands. Yeah, it's a hidden in the middle. Turmoil and so, really. LANDS. And that's countries, which are lands. Okay. Young reporter carrying large blunt instrument. Well, a blunt instrument could be a club. A young reporter being a cub, I'm not sure about, but a cub carrying L large for L, or L for large, and that's a blunt instrument, which is a club. Sure. Something wrong with second home. Something wrong. Only 3 letters here. Sin. Something wrong. Or is it just something? What's this? Titled people, like barons or something, exclude Rolling Stone. Baroness. Titled people. Baroners or something. Exclude Rolling Stone. Ban could be exclude. What is a barrister? Isn't that something? Not sure, really. Last bit of Devon or people in another country. Last of bit could be tea of Devon. Devon, England. Or people in another country. What are they? They're foreigners. Expats. Awful place we hear, that's complete. We hear, that's complete. Something is done. Awful place. Hell. Spot removers, first for profit. Not the making money profit, a religious profit. Removers first. So it sounds like starts with R, maybe, for profit. Is the answer going to be profit or maybe spot? Not sure there. Match, perhaps, for football player. Match. Birds. This probably starts with an S, because this is plural. Match, perhaps. player. Football match is a game. Match. Characters in magazine were more up to date. Newer. It's just hidden in the middle of magazine were. Newer. Newer. It's more up to date. A match. A sortie? Maybe, or maybe just a football player is the answer. A scorer or something, or like a left tackle. I'm not sure. Let's do... I kind of have tapped out here on what I can do, so this is not necessarily a super easy one, or at least not super easy for me. Well, how about this? We just got some more letters. Awful place. Awful. It's worst. We hear. That's awful. That's complete. Yeah, I don't know. Let's turn on show errors at the very least just to show. Okay, well, that means everything that we've entered so far is correct. I just can't think of this tree. Oops, I did not mean to type that. A sort of echo. Hertz. What did I say it was? Echo Hertz nest. Just can't think of this tree. Clergyman going around a power plant. No. Clergyman. No. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a reveal? Real word. A reactor is a power plant. Okay. Clergyman going around a rector. I thought rectory, that's where the priest lives. I guess the rector is another word for a priest. Internet's being slow right now. Rector. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. That must be it. Going around a tree. Horse? Is there some kind of tree that starts with the word horse? Apparently there is. H-O-R-S-E. What are we left with? Times like this, sometimes Notepad is the way to go. I don't think you can see Notepad because I just have it recording my browser window. But so we have, what's our words again? Echo Hertz nest. Echo Hertz nest. And let's take out horse. H-O-R-S-E. A horse chestnut. Okay. Horse chestnut. Never heard of a horse chestnut tree. Jeez. Moving slowly and carefully, taking ages in movement. Is this something ing? It is. Is it easing? That just seems not cool to have easy and also easing in the same puzzle. I don't know if I'm okay with that, but moving slowly and carefully, taking ages in movement. Trying to figure out the cryptic here. I don't think I quite get it. Oh, it's an anagram of ages in. Okay. So movement is an anagram indicator. And ages, it's an anagram of ages in. Taking is, I guess, kind of just a linking word. moving slowly and carefully is easing. All right. Yellow beaters or whistlers, warblers. There's an E. Yellow whalers. Yellow. It's a beater. Yellow whackers. Yellow. I have no idea. I've never heard of this bird. Reveal me. Reveal me. Whammers. Yellow whammers. Yellow whammer. I doubt you can see much of this, but yellow hammer. Hammer. Ugh. That was part of my problem. Yellow hammer bird. Okay. Well, sure, it's a bird called a yellowhammer. Never heard of it, but it's scared is yellow, and beaters are hammers, yellowhammers. Sure. Sire involved in many a school for fathers to be. So what is our definition? Fathers to be. Sire, maybe just like dad. 8-letter words. Sire. Involved with many. So M and N. No. Okay. I thought we might have the word many in there. Many a school for fathers to be. Oh, what do they call that? Some kind of Lamaze class that's for mothers. Is there something for fathers? School for fathers to be? Sure. Last bit of Devon or people in another country. Bit of Devon, maybe. Last is the definition of last. Or people, I'm not sure. Awful place. Is this worse? No. It does end in E. It was just we here, awful place. Reveal me. Whole. Here that's complete. So if something is complete, it is whole. Awful place is a whole, H-O-L-E. What a hole. Okay, I guess I've heard that as sort of a, you're alighting the shit in shithole. I think that's what, when you say that something is a hole, you're kind of implying that it's a shithole and you're just taking out the shit. Titled people. Baronets. Exclude Rolling Stone. Okay, so exclude is to bar. If you bar someone from something, you exclude them. And then Rolling Stone is an anagram of stone, O-N-E-T-S, right there. So baronets. I don't know if I've heard of that, a baronet. Heard of barons, baronesses. I don't think I've heard of a baronet, but whatever. Something wrong with second home. So I guess second is S and home is in. So again, we kind of are doubling up here a lot. We have easy and easing, and we literally use the same wordplay here. At home to mean in. Same thing here. Home. If you're home, you're in. So second is S. Home is in. And you get a sin, which is something wrong. Okay. Another country, or maybe the answer is just, county. County. Ugh, that's another one of my problems is misreading. People in another county. Is this just going to be a different county other than Devon? And also Devon is a British county, right? Sometimes websites like this, I mentioned I found this on the AARP website. They are, this isn't really someone who works at the AARP doing this crossword, that they pull these crosswords from some other source. You can quote unquote go to the Washington Post and do a crossword there, but they're hosting the LA Times crossword. So I wonder if this is being pulled from somewhere. Just write your song cover, beginners to tackle. Okay. I wonder if there's some way to determine that, or maybe this guy does work for the AARP or something, or freelances for them or whatever. Not sure. So I don't know this either. Let's reveal it. Reveal me striker. Yeah, because these are kind of British terms. A striker, that's football, British football. Devon is a county in England. Norfolk. So last bit of Devon, N, or is just in the clue there, and then people are folk, and so it's just another county other than Devon is Norfolk. Yeah, I wonder if this is pulled from some British source. Anyway, sire involved with many a school for fathers to be. Simon Nort, I don't know. Reveal me. Seminary, fathers to be. Okay, not not dads, as in people about to give birth. Fathers, as in reverends or religious leaders. So it looks like it's an anagram of sire and many, I guess. MANY, MANY and S. Yeah. So sire involved with many is the cryptic part of the clue there. And it's saying anagram, sire, and many. And you get a school for fathers to be, which is a seminary. Okay. There we go. Well, that's certainly, for me anyway, maybe have been Babby's first cryptic. Oh, no, we're not done. Spot remover's first for profit. Profit could be a seer. Okay, to spot is to see. Remover's first is R, and a prophet is a seer. Okay, now we're done. Well, geez, it was not super easy for me anyway. It may have been overall a very easy cryptic for other people, or for British people. I'm guessing that has to be pulled from some British source, because Norfolk County, striker for football. You've never heard of Yellowhammer and rector. Well, that just might be a religious thing, but okay. Anyway, there it is. It's another cryptic. I definitely won't be recording these every time, especially if it takes me 30 minutes, but at least I found one, a consistent source of non-New Yorker cryptics to kind of get some practice in and hopefully get better at them. Because the New Yorker definitely has its style of cluing for cryptics. Every crossword, each constructor is going to have their own sort of personality about the way that they construct their puzzles. And also, the publisher definitely has an arm in it as well. New York Times crosswords all feel very much of a piece because of Will Shortz's influence and effect. There's a documentary, which is pretty old now, so I don't know how accurate that information is, but in that documentary, Wordplay, Will Shortz said that on an average puzzle, he's probably done half the clues. So, his personality definitely shines through a lot, as if that is still true, as well as the individual constructors. But every crossword has sort of a style, and you get used to it, and so then you become better at doing those specific crosswords. Whereas if I went to do a USA Today crossword, that would have a different personality from a New York Times or an LA Times. They all sort of have their individual ways that they work, and so cryptics, I have to imagine, are the same way. The New Yorker cryptic has, obviously it has a different shaped grid that gives you more crosses, which is kind of nice, and they have their own style of cluing, just like this guy, Michael Curl, has his own style of cluing. So, anyway, that'll do it for the brain. I will see you tomorrow for the regularly scheduled Friday New Yorker. And until then, stay safe out there. Bye.